Hey, good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Morvillius alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. You're on the WHS Network here on YouTube.com. And for another season here, folks, what should be a fantastic year of Raider sports here on the WHS Network. We have the 2019 Wapahani Lady Raider Volleyball Season Preview Show on tap here this evening, in which just wanted to kind of get in kind of the rhythm of things here a little bit again, and get back to our broadcasting ways. And it's going to be an exciting year. A lot of new faces, I think, to the team. That's going to be very welcomed, and a lot of talent, I think, is going to be another big story here for Wapahani. So you look at last year's team. Had a very successful year, end up losing in the first round of sectionals to Delta. And, so you come back from that. Obviously, we lost quite a few key assets to that team with the likes of Estella Davis and Haven Gates. Most notably, you have a couple other girls, here and there as well. That was just, big impactful players. Sarah Orm, I think, was a very key asset to the team. And so, now you look from that on to this year's season, brand new coach and Katie Weir. She's now at the helm of things. And, when you have a kind of a new coaching staff, you really don't know what to expect. And I think these girls are definitely welcoming the change, but also don't know somewhat what to expect. And that's why, getting in there, getting these practices in, they're in there practicing right now. Getting geared up for Delta here in about a week and some change. And, we'll get to the schedule here in a moment. But, like I said, there's going to be a little bit of a different look to the team this year. Not a heavy, dose of, seniors or juniors. You do have some juniors on the team. I think a couple seniors, but most of the team's going to be more or less comprised of sophomores and freshmen. Mm-hmm. And so, when you have a group like the freshman that's coming in, I think they're
like 75-0 or something like that.
It was insane.
They never lost a game.
Record in middle school. So when you have girls like that coming in, I think they're going to make an impact this year. How much of an impact, it's hard to say. Because you move from 8th grade volleyball even up to the junior varsity level, that's a big step. Mm-hmm. You bump that up to the varsity level, which I don't know how many freshmen going to be on varsity this year, or how many, what the roster is going to completely look like. You're going to have some familiar faces, but I think you're going to have some new faces on here as well. Getting some of these youngsters that experience, but also not just looking at the experience standpoint, but, if they're ready to play at that level, you got to give them the opportunity. And I think with a new coach in here now, I think it's going to be a little bit different, from that standpoint of maybe different, from a strategy standpoint, from a, I don't know, a roster shake up here a little bit, with some of the girls that left and now some new girls coming in. You don't know what completely everything's going to look like yet, but I will say it's a very impressive group, and I don't think it's definitely a team that anybody should sleep on by any means. You always talk about like the likes of Delta and Yorktown. Westdale's always had a very good program. Daleville's had a very good program as well. Cowan, I think, had a really nice year last year. So, people, teams in this Delaware County area are still going to be tough. There's no question about that. But I think one thing you don't want to do is sleep on your Wapahani Lady Raiders. I don't think there's much question there that the talent's going to be there. It's just about putting it all together and getting the experience. So really looking forward to things, and hopefully it's going to be a great year for us. Like I said just moments ago, we're starting out the year with the Delta Eagles. We're going to be at home for that one to open up the 2019 campaign as we take on the Delta Eagles. Should be a great showdown there. They have a good portion of their team back with the likes of big-time heavy hitter Molly Hunt. So you have her, also Bella Derringer. I believe she'll be back for her senior campaign as well. They have a very nice group of ladies over there, and so it's going to be a tough task, no question. Yorktown, speaking of which, also We will be playing them on September the 5th. That is a Thursday night at Yorktown. So make sure circle that on your calendars as well. Muncie Burris under the new tutelage again of Mr. Shondell. When you get Steve back in there, it just kind of I guess regenerates things a little bit of all the success that he's had with Muncie Burris. Mike Dodrell left there. I'm not sure what he's doing there. He's a good friend of ours, but he's no longer the head coach of Muncie Burris. So they're going to have a little bit of a different look team without Michael Ivy. Yorktown, no longer with Knuckles. Delta, like I said, they have a good majority of the team back. So just kind of an insight there. You got some big conference games, though, coming up right there. First part of the season, you have Blue River, second game of the year at Blue River. Also, we have Westdale here at home. That'll be the third game of the year. So right there within the first, 2 of the 3 games, you're knocking on the door with some conference opponents, which, you got to take care of business there. But then you got Shenandoah. They usually have a pretty good team over there. Madison Grant, a very, very tough program. We got them out here at Wapahani on September the 19th, which is a Thursday evening. You look at that, right there within probably like the first 15 games of the year. That's some tough opponents. And so I think it will give us a little bit of a look at how, our team kind of matches up with some of these other teams. Could reveal some things that, definitely got to work on. Maybe some good things as well that, that you can execute on as well. So I think no matter what happens, just got to keep pushing forward and hope for the best as the season goes along here. And hopefully the team gets even better. But now, you look at the back part of the season. We have Daleville on September the 25th. Monroe Central, they've had a very good team. They have a new coach out there as well, a Wapahani alum, Megan Hicks. She'll be leading the way there for the Lady Golden Bears this season on September the 26th. That's a Thursday night. Alexandria, another very important game because now we have them in our sectionals. They have
back down in 2A again.
Yeah,
this year.
it's a whole new configuration, folks, which should be interesting come sectional time. With us dropping down from 3A now to 2A, which I didn't mention that in the first part of the show. But it's going to be a little bit of a different look as far as with sectionals go. I think we'll have Winchester, also Alexandria, I think Elwood. You have LaPel, Frankton, us, and
maybe Sheridan, maybe?
Maybe Sheridan. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be definitely a different look. But Alexandria has always been a kind of a thorn in the side a little bit. We've gotten them, they've gotten us, at different times. So that's definitely a game to watch for. That is on, I think it's on September 28th is what they have on the schedule, which again, these dates and times could be changed throughout the year. It depends. You have different cancellations, moving up games, moving back games. It's hard to say at different times throughout the year. Just kind of got to watch for us on the broadcast or go on the WapahaniAthletics.com page. You can get on there. That's where we got all of our schedule and information from. But then the Delaware County Tournament is set for, I believe it is October the 5th. It is going to be interesting then to see, again, these powerhouses all come together with, Cowan, Daleville, us, Delta, Westdale. It's anybody's game at that point once you get into the Delaware County Tournament, which will be held here. And then we'll finish up the year. We have Winchester and Cowan, and then the Columbus East Invitational, which we've played in, I think, roughly about the last 4 or 5 years now, which is a great, great invitational. A lot of top-tier teams in the state of Indiana plays down there at that invitational, usually held on a Saturday morning and afternoon. It's definitely a very long day, but definitely, kind of gives you that energy boost that you need. I know last year we struggled there, kind of walked into the tournament a little down on ourselves a little bit, but it's right before sectional. So when you're playing against some of these tougher teams right before sectional start, I think that's definitely a good thing to be having because, state tournament time, you're going to get everybody's best anyway. So just kind of a look at the schedule, some different teams to really look forward to with, Delta, Yorktown, Muncie, Burris, Alexandria. The list can go on, but it's going to be, like I said, I think an interesting year with the way that the team is going to be shaped this year now, again, under new head coach Katie Weir, which those of you that don't know, I guess, her name used to be Katie Vasilakis, which she used to play for Yorktown.
She was pretty good.
Yes, she was. She ended up going on to play at Ball State, and does have some coaching experience. I think coached at a couple different places as an assistant coach. So she does have some coaching background. But I'm interested to see what she can bring to the table for this team. And, like I said, you do have a young team. You have likes of Mallory Summers back, a big-time heavy hitter here for Wapahani. I think she's going to be a very valuable asset to have throughout the rotation. From a setting standpoint, it's hard to say what we're going to see this year. Last year, we mostly, for the most part, worked with two different setters. You had Mallory Summers doing the setting when she wasn't hitting, and then you had Allison Stewart as well, which Allison, I'm not sure if she's back this year or not. To be honest with you, I heard that she was playing, heard that she wasn't playing, I don't know. But if she's not, she was a fantastic player to have, but I hope she is this year. But I know Macy Bowden, I've heard that she is a setter. She's an incoming freshman. And so we'll see what happens from the setting position. Hitting position, I don't know. Like I said, outside of Mallory Summers, it's hard to say. You might see a little Emma Shuck potentially. She did some outside hitting last year. Then from there, I don't know. It's hard to say. The way that this roster is going to be shaped this year, it's like I said, it's going to be interesting. So look forward to that. August the 20th is our very first game of the season at home here against the Delta Eagles. That will be a JV start time of 6 o'clock. Varsity game to follow. So make sure, come on out and root on the Lady Raiders. It's going to be a big, big, big game there between us and Delta. Delta under a new coach as well, Courtney Stewart. Does that sound about right?
Whitney Stewart.
Whitney Stewart, that's right.
Yeah.
She came over from Cowan, and she used to be
an assistant for Delta.
Exactly. So that's a little bit different as well. I'm sure from a different coaching style and techniques and things of that sort that the team, I don't know if they're accustomed to or not. We'll wait and see once we cross that road against Delta here in about a week and a half or so from now. So getting geared up, folks. Hope all of you make sure and watch us all year long, whether it be volleyball or boys and girls basketball, baseball and softball. We'll have all the action right here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. It's either on the bottom screen how we have that on there. Make sure and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/WHS Network. And also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at WHS Network for all information. We'll talk about upcoming games, talk about schedules and maybe some roster changes, whatever the case might be. We'll have it all on there for you. So just make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can get on there. Everything's free, so there's no charge or nothing like that. Everything's free. Just got to click the subscribe button, and you'll get alerts, notifications about each broadcast that will be about to start, or maybe that day or whatever the case might be. And you can get on there and catch some Raider action. So looking forward to another year. We hope you are too. And we'll wait and see what happens, folks. So until next time, I'm Brandon Morvillas alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Again, thanking all of you for watching. Have a great night. And we'll see you back here on August 20th with Lady Raider Volleyball here on the WHS Network. Have a great night, folks.